Welcome back, guys. I'm Beanie, and whatever it is you're watching, I've probably already seen it. So I started a new drama called Love is for Suckers. Judging from the title, it's obvious it's going to be a romance drama, and after watching the first episode, I can confirm that it's a comedy as well. This drama stars Siwon as Park Jae-hoon and Lee Da-hee as Yeo-reum. Honestly, I love me some Siwon, so that's what initially drew me to start watching. But this drama starts off with somewhat of a flash to the future, then just takes us back to the present time. It was honestly a little confusing, but in the future scene, Jae-hoon is dressed in a spiffy suit and is with a group of women dressed like brides and grooms, and they're all just posing. It's clear that they're in some kind of production, and Yeo-reum is part of the production team. Yeo-reum and Jae-hoon smile at each other, but there's something in the air, like, what happened between these two? Mystery. Spoiler, they don't tell us in this episode, but I guess we'll figure out later, and then we're straight back to the present. That's when the actual drama starts. We see Park Jae-hoon, but he's no longer spiffy. He seems like a cool guy, and he's quick to crack a few jokes here and there. In that opening scene, Yeo-reum calls to tell Jae-hoon to buy her some food, and the ease of their conversation just tells us that these two are close. Yeo-reum begs him, and he finally gives in, and we get to meet their friends Dae-shik and Haejin, who own a restaurant. And it's there that we find out that Jae-hoon has been Yeo-reum's shuttle since they were kids, meaning he's always been running around, running errands for her / bringing her food. And that confirms that Jae-hoon and Yeo-reum are childhood friends. Right away, I'm thinking, ooh, this is gonna be good. I like these kind of tropes where the best friend becomes the lover, but it often comes with a lot of resistance to change the status of the relationship. So we'll see what happens between these two, but I'm rooting for them. So Jae-hoon buys the food just for Yeo-reum to kind of cancel her order because of the guy she's seeing, who is Chef John Jang. So it turns out that Chef John is the talent on a show that Yeo-reum is producing. Jae-hoon warns Yeo-reum that he's just gonna dump her, but she's convinced that he's gonna ask her to make him his girlfriend. Unfortunately, Jae-hoon is right, and our girl is dropped like a hot potato. The whole situation around Chef John showed me just how desperate Yeo-reum is for a relationship, and the writers also made sure to stress her age, which is 37, I think, and how that acted as a stressor for her and how she approached romantic relationships. Besides setting some foundational information, this episode centered around the downfall of Yeo-reum's dashed relationship dreams and how she perceived herself in the dating world. She has a great job as a head producer, and she loves her work, but it just looks like her love life has suffered. After having a fling with Chef John, he said some trash things about her and how older women are easy and are like damaged goods just because of her age. Yeo-reum ended up overhearing some of his rude words and was so hurt. I was like, this guy is horrible, so mean. He was just playing around with Yeo-reum, but she actually liked him. It was so sad to see her trying to save a little bit of her dignity by asking Jae-hoon to come pick her up dressed well in a flashy car, just to show that, hey, she has some interest, from other people. And it showed how hurt she was by the chef and how much his perception of her impacted her. This is where I have to dig into Jae-hoon. He seems like a great guy, but he let his close relationship with Yeo-reum cloud his judgment. She sincerely asked for his help, but since they have such a silly relationship, he didn't take her request seriously. I was so disappointed in him, yes, she's your friend, but she's a woman who just needed a little confidence boost. Instead, he showed up in his bummy clothes and a basic truck. She ended up even more embarrassed. Throughout this drama, Jae-hoon came across as a silly, chill guy, but a couple of scenes showed us that he has some hidden trauma and some things that we really have to uncover as viewers. There was a scene where he saw a motorcyclist get into an accident right in front of him, and he just kind of watched him with no emotion. And then we found out that he's actually a doctor, specifically a cosmetic surgeon. It makes me wonder, how can a doctor stand there and react so nonchalantly to a medical emergency? What is going on? What happened in the past to Jae-hoon? Aside from that scene, Jae-hoon was very solemn when talking about his father who passed away. It seems that his father was very important to him, and his death really impacted him and his family as well. We got to meet them, and they all really missed the father. Unsurprisingly, Jae-hoon's mom is desperate for Jae-hoon to get married and actually sets him up on a blind date. From their conversation, we find out that Jae-hoon doesn't want to get married. What an interesting development. I wonder what this means for his possible relationship with Yeo-reum in the future. Hopefully they get together. But he ultimately goes on the date and effectively shuts the girl down. The girl was actually sweet and seemed like a nice girl, but he still came out dressed shabbily. She still gave him a chance, but you could tell he didn't care and he didn't want to be there. I was surprised when she called him out for wasting her time, but she did the right thing because he apologized for his attitude and behavior. overall. Somehow I think his apology made a good impression on her because the look on her face was interesting. And I bet we're going to see more of her at some point because that look, it just spoke to me. This isn't over for them. This is not over. With that being said, Jae-hoon's connection to Yeo-reum was emphasized when he saw that grimy social media post made by Chef John. He posted an unflattering photo of Yeo-reum and made fun of her, like, so unnecessary, like, you are irrelevant. Why did you do that, right? So Jae-hoon sees the post, he jumps into action, and does what he should have done before. He dressed up nice and snazzy and drove to Yeo-reum's set in a flashy sports car. And when he got there, he swooped in, confronted Chef John and deleted the post. He even ruffled him up a little and played a love-struck man who's just trying to win Yeo-reum over. It was great. It was great. Obviously, Jae-hoon did all this to help Yeo-reum save face with Chef John, but I think there was some truth to his words. Like, you can't be doing all of this for a girl who's not your girlfriend and not be interested, you know? He's too invested in Yeo-reum's life, and I think he already likes her. Yeah. They're the main couple, so hopefully they actually end up together. But at this point, I think he has a crush and he's just hiding it. But I guess we'll see in future episodes. This first episode was okay. It didn't grab my attention like some other dramas do in the first episode. But I'll definitely give it a good 3 episodes before I make any decisions. So yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Comment below if you're going to give this drama a try. If you already watched this episode, what did you think about it? Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.